Hello and welcome to Villa Park as Unai Emery's side host Pep Guardiola's Man City in the Premier League this afternoon. Unai Emery and his side are going for their third successive win over Pep's Man City at Villa Park as we bring you the build-up ahead of kickoff.
Walk out into a packed Villa Park, fireworks again, green towards the skies above B6. Leo Bailey grabs a minute to shoot, goes a goal and ends it with a save. Sorry for goal, great save against the Netherlands. Great save Martin. Great save Martin again. Bailey's lining it up for distance, save from Edison again. Got McGinn to the shoot, he goes round to Villa. Bye! Leo Bailey, still going, wants to be right through. Leo Bailey throws to Villa. Oh, yes! It's in the back of the net. This time for a shot. Oh, it's in the post. There goes the full-time whistle. Aston Villa beat the Premier League champions. Rodgers now. Rodgers clean through for Aston Villa. Rodgers with the real shot. Rolls in for Giroud. Matty Cash on the overlap, going for goal, side netting. And back towards Rodgers! What a Rodgers still going. He's the ball in his way. Rodgers still going. Goal! Started, finished by one Morgan Rodgers. There goes the full-time whistle. The second season on the bench. Aston Villa beat Manchester City. This time by 2 goals to 1.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if we could do that again? Welcome along to Matchday Live on Villa TV. My name is Kate Tracy. Alongside me, 3 former villains, saying warm and dry for now at least. We have Alan McAnally, Gary Thompson and Ahmed El Mohammadi, who was nicely cozying up to Marmoush there. Don't mind us. How's he? Is he in good form?
He's all right, yeah. He's not playing today, so he's not starting. So he's on the bench. So only 2 Egyptians left in the Premier League. So him and Salah now. So
not too bad ones, are they?
Yeah, no. I hope Mini comes, you know. So yeah, he's been fantastic for them, to be honest. He's been injured in the last few games. He's back now on the bench. So hopefully not playing today because he's a threat as well.
Yeah, like I say, they've got a few little injury worries, but we'll be talking about in due course. Gary, how are you? Good to have you back.
Yeah, it's lovely to be back. It took a while to be invited back, but yes, I'm back now. Thank you for inviting me.
And Alan,
yes.
I saved you till lucky last. Now, viewers out there will not be able to see beyond the desk. I mean, you're sporting one fantastic Adidas Aston Villa shoe.
Yes.
The other one, you're supporting a hospital boot.
Yeah, I had a bit of an accident. I was walking along the road. I had an old person's moment, I think we've got the best way to put it. I've hit like a raised curb and my foot's gone right in and I've fractured my metatarsal and broke a toe. I know, exactly.
From all of your playing days, from everything that you've done.
Tom and I were just laughing about it. I never remember hurting my foot at any time, whether it was stood upon or playing the game anywhere, and I don't ever remember I broke the odd toe, but used to take an injection and just play anyway. But actually hurting my foot in any way I've never done before, so
as you become a codger,
I'm a little bit like Marmoush because I can't play today either.
Oh, literally, the only thing you've got in common right now.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, you're both benched.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, not the most cleverest thing I've ever done, but nevertheless, I'll be fine in 4 or 5 weeks. I'll be
Fair play to you for still coming along, though, and joining us. We appreciate your time all the same. Gary, really looking forward to this one. You say about being back on the show, you've come back for a good one.
Oh, this is a great game as well. Like you say, Villa didn't start too well the season, as it were, but Man City, I think it's unbeaten in 9 games or won 9 games. They are on a great run at the minute. It'll be a great game, especially after Thursday night. It'll be a great one to bounce back on.
Exactly, and we say, Elmo, about the fact that Villa have such a good record at Villa Park against Man City, beating them the last 2 seasons. Now, admittedly, both those games in December, whether or not there's any synergy behind that exactly, but are we anticipating something similar?
I think, yeah, if you remember, not last year, the season before, we absolutely battered them here. It's one of the best performances under Unai Emery. And you can see Pep Guardiola after the game, I said, this is the best team I played against, in the Premier League since Liverpool days, So it's going to be an interesting one, They're like guys said, it's great form, especially Haaland. He's scoring in every game now for City and his country as well. So he's back to his best. So he's going to be a big threat for us today. So we have to be careful. Of course, playing against Man City is always going to be tough. They're a good team. Maybe last year they wasn't at their best. But they're back at their best now, and adding some good players in their team. They going forward, they are a threat, but they are defensively they're not that great. So we can't hurt them. We have some players coming back to their best form as well, especially Morgan. You can see him, scoring against Spurs, one of the best goals scored this season. So yeah, it's going to be a big game for both teams. So hopefully we need to start well. Every time we come out here, especially at Villa Park, we start first 15-20 minutes well, we win the game. So we need to start well today.
Alan, the start of the season feels like a distant memory now for Villa, with all of the concerns over goal scoring, the slow start. Of course, we did have that slight blip in midweek, which we'll get onto a bit later in the show. But in terms of Villa, the identity that we associate with this team, it feels like it's back.
It is. I know we're going to speak about Thursday briefly, which was a little bit of a step back, because I think more importantly, none of us saw that coming. I mean, second half, we just didn't get it going at all. I don't think they were a particularly good team, but like I say, we'll get on to that. We now play a team that has passed part of its transition and look as though they've come out the other side with players that obviously Pep's brought in to replace the older guard, and now all of a sudden they seem to be the team that might be the biggest threat to Arsenal winning the league, and Liverpool dropping away. They're in really good form, genuinely really good form. This is a tough test for us today, and a test I would imagine that couldn't have come quick enough after Thursday night for the lads to prove to everybody that we are not the team that started this season, and we have a little continuity, and we have a real goal threat, etc., etc. I think Elmo's dead right. I think defensively, they hopefully won't be as good as maybe they have been in the last couple of games. I think we'll get chances against them, and hopefully that's going to happen today.
And of course, we talk about midweek. I mean, there were positives to take, Gary. The fact that Evan Gassond managed to get his first goal, which must have been a relief in some ways for him, for all that we're not long into the season. But there were certain positives, the fact that we dominated.
Definitely. I mean, they say Gassond gets his first goal, and as you say, he bobbled it in, but always get your first one, get yourself off the mark is always brilliant. Gassond does so much work travelling back the other way. He needs to give a bit more going forward, and the other day, should I say, he got his goal, so obviously he's well happy with that. We dominated the game. Just basically, we controlled the game, but fell asleep a couple of times and paid the price for it. But every now and again, it's good to get you back to normal, as it were, because we were on a great run, winning game after game after game. Every now and again, it doesn't hurt you to get beat, to start again.
Should we get some team news?
Ooh.
We have it through for us.
Already.
So, as always, starting with Aston Villa. Emi Martinez is in goal, Matty Cash at right back, Ezri Konsa comes back into the heart of defence. Our captain, John McGinn, Emi Buendia gets his start again, Ollie Watkins up top. Luca Dean, despite missing out in midweek because of the gash, it's fair to say, that he got against Spurs last weekend, is at left back. So, few changes there. And now on to Man City. Now Donnarumma, he's back here. Of course, he was here last season with PSG in goal. Ruben Diaz, Reinders comes back into the fray. John Stones, Erling Haaland, the Viking up top. Bernardo Silva, he's a Swiss Army knife, isn't he? He'll have to go wherever Pep needs him, and today he's going to need him perhaps in a slightly different position. Gvardiol, Savinho, Mateus Nunes, Phil Foden, who's really found his form of late, and Oscar Bob. You can see a strong bench as well. Cherki is on the bench, and Nico Gonzalez, despite a few injury worries about those two as well. So, lads, starting with Aston Villa, Elmo, what did you expect to see today? Plenty of changes from midweek?
Of course, yeah, when you play in Europe, you got a lot of games, so you have to rotate. This is what the manager did in the midweek, in Holland. So, expecting, a strong side out today. Emi Buendia gets his start after he's been dropping, and against Tottenham, he came on and he scored the winning goal. So, I'm absolutely delighted for him, he missed a penalty in the midweek, but can happen to anyone, you know. So it feels like, you know, we have a problem that with penalties, you know, because in the last 13 penalties we missed 8 of them. So we need, you know, someone to step on and take those penalties. But for Buendia, you know, I was delighted for him when he came on against Tottenham. Did very well, worked so hard and get his reward. You know, scoring a fantastic goal, starting with Matty Cash with that long pass, you know, to Dini. Great touches, like, you know, Zinedine Zidane in his prime.
Yeah.
Just honestly, it was just like a great goal to watch, you know. So yeah, a strong side. Torres and Konsa back together as well at the back. They're gonna have a tough game today against a big Haaland, you know, because like we said, he's in great form. So we need a help in the midfield. John McGinn is having a fantastic season already, so he's our captain. He's in great form. So yeah, good starting lineup, you know, for us. But we have to be careful, you know, because they going forward. Like I said, you know, they got this Sevenio. Foden is finding his feet again, you know. So we have to just be careful in that transition, and then just, you know, hit them in our counter-attack, because going forward, Morgan and Buendia, especially in the middle of the park, they can hurt them because they leave that gap between, you know, defenders and midfield. So these gaps, you know, we can't find the ball in these gaps and just hurt them in this transition. So like I said, we need to start well today, because last 2 games we beat them, we started very well, and then we got 3 points, so we have to start well today.
I'm just going to ask Gallo if they can bring up the Aston Villa team lineup just in case you missed the tail end of that, to see the changes up top. But Gary, your initial take from what you saw of Villa, Luca Dean coming back as left back.
Yeah, I think Luca Dean was always going to come back. He took a nasty gash the other day, but as you say, the part he played in the game, the goal, should I say, was superb. Getting back in the team, he's an experienced player, he's very, very good leader, and him coming back was not really a surprise. Talking about Man City, the boy Reinders, I think he's a very, very good player. He's one you've got to watch. But looking at the Villa side, Buendia, coming back in, he's had a strong pre-season. He's been in and out of the team. He's got a couple of goals as well. Okay, he missed a penalty the other day, but generally his performance has been very, very good, and so it's good to see him in there. I think this game will be quite an open game as well. And as Emi said, if you start brightly today, you've got half a chance.
I want to ask you about Amadou Onana and Boubacar Kamara in the double pivot there. How vital are they going to be in shielding the defence in those midfield rotations that they have for Man City?
First and foremost, I think we've spoken about Man City glowingly, because we know they've got some good players. But if I was in the dressing room right now, I'd be thinking of the job I have to do. Yeah, they're good players, but so are we. We've got some really good players in there, and I'll speak about Buendia before I get to Onana. I'm not expecting I'm not surprised he's playing today. This is exactly the game where you want to have somebody like Buendia on the ball,
interesting, because of course Man City is so physical, and you associate with Buendia as being nippy, being able to find space.
I think he could be a game winner for us today. Generally, we've got players that they already know about, like John McGinn, Mike Morgan-Rogers, etc. Kamara will do his job like he normally does, but I think Buendia for us could genuinely be a game winner for us today, because I think he is that good genuinely, and I think the lads are right. He has had a good start to the season, got a couple of goals, and he's in a good place. Onana for us, for and against set pieces, is vital for us today, absolutely vital, and the big man has to make sure. And I'm glad that, because sometimes for Amadou, he'll maybe play 3 games and miss 2 games. Yeah. He looks as though he's ready to go now. He looks as though he's fit all the time. If you remember at the weekend, or even midweek it was, he got clattered, got back up and played and kept playing. I thought that's good. That's, you know, inside himself, his head's in a good place, and I think he's going to be obviously important today. But I'd rather talk about the players that we have that can hurt Manchester City, rather than us worry too much about what Man City could do. When they've got the ball, we can worry all we want. When we've got the ball, let's play and put them under as much pressure as we can.
And in terms of possession stats this calendar year, it's actually been very even between how much possession Villa have in their games in comparison to Man City as well. So we'll get plenty more on Man City and also our key players as well. But for now, we're going to remind you that, of course, on Friday, it was a pivotal day in Aston Villa's history. 3 days since the appointment of Unai Emery at Aston Villa.
My objective to play with Aston Villa in Europe.
First match for Unai Emery, Aston Villa against Manchester United. Bailey scores! The Unai Emery era is off the mark. Oh, what a magnificent goal! Oh, what a strike from again! Douglas Luiz. There it is!
Villa got to win today to be sure of claiming the last European place available, and an opportunity for Ollie Watkins, and Aston Villa return to European football.
Aston Villa action. Cash with the cross in, and they had to go down in last, and it's John McGinn deep inside adding time.
Aston Villa against the champions. Bailey deflected, it is. 14 straight home league victories. One more will set a new record. John McGinn! First it was Manchester City, now it is Arsenal.
The free Johnny Watkins!
Martinez sends Villa through.
Oh, it's saved by Martinez! Aston Villa through to the last four.
Significant implications for the title race and Champions League.
It's Ollie Watkins!
And does this finish Arsenal's title race?
Aston Villa in 4th place and they're into Europe's premier competition.
The start of a new season. Neuer nearly caught it down by that. Oh, it's absolutely incredible!
Aston Villa and Manchester City walk into this football cathedral. It's Rodgers. City beaten, and it's Aston Villa who have beaten them again.
Rodgers turns it in. Oh, Morgan Rodgers! Aston Villa have finished in the top 8 of the Champions League. It's not going to go! Into the corner it flies! Pulls it back! Goal!
This wonderful stadium is heavy with the weight of anticipation of a brand new season.
When you need your captain, John McGinn steps up.
Walking out in front of 60,000 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, getting the shot away and scoring. Take that is from Luca D. Buendia for Aston Villa. Buendia, oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah, what a ride it has been with Unai Emery so far. And he was asked about this in his pre-match press conference on the anniversary of his appointment.
Of course, very proud of how the club, supporters, the players get the commitment together with our idea, our demand as a manager and coaches, following being very, very demanding and consistent. And the development we did overall, even myself, because I am better coach than 3 years ago, and thankful for the players to help me to get better as a coach, and the club, thankful the club helping me and making me better with the opportunity I have to manage here, and with the result we are getting. Of course, playing Europe is something I appreciate a lot, and I think is giving us another level. Conference League, semi-final, Champions League, quarter-final. Now we are in Europe League, and focusing the priority through the Premier League to try to be top 10, top 7, top 5, and achieving it, of course, is the successful way we did collectively and individually, and each one can feel like I am feeling myself, proud of everything we did.
Great to hear from Unai Emery there, and of course it was that perfect bit of synergy to be able to hear from him, 3-year anniversary of his appointment. Elmo, in the 3 years, could you ever have believed this rise?
No, not at all, to be honest. But what he's done, with his coaching staff and everyone around, it's been absolutely outstanding. First year he came to the club, we were in 17 in the Premier League, and then to get the club to qualify for Euro, first year Conference League, second year Champions League, which is, I think, was the biggest moment in his 3 years, for qualifying for the Champions League. Getting this club back playing in Europe is absolutely fantastic. Third year, qualifying for the Europa League, which is his favorite competition. He won it 4 times, so we are favored to win it this year. So what he's done with his coaching staff and everyone around has been fantastic. He spoke about it yesterday in his press conference, talking about the players helped him. the owners helped him, the fans helped him, you know. So it's all everyone around him. So he's been enjoying it. I spoke to him a few weeks ago about it, and he's absolutely loving it every minute here, you know. Especially with the fans, the supporters. He's getting support from everyone, you know. Owners helped him a lot with everything he asked for, you know, getting players in, and the fans as well. It's been fantastic for him. They adore him, you know, the fans here. So what he's done is remarkable. He's one of the best managers, you know, to manage this football club. So hopefully long may continue. And like I said, you know, this year is big year. Maybe the only thing missing is winning a trophy, which is he spoke about it often about, you know, getting the club to win a trophy, which is maybe this year to be the year, you know, to win the Europa League, which is going to be fantastic for the football club.
He's hoping so. And it's fascinating when you hear fans, and I've been listening to a fair few things of the fans of late, and Gary, they've been saying, I really hope that Unai actually does love this club and that he really does want to be here. And Elmo's just said that he does. Because when you look at the broader landscape across the Premier League and the manager merry-go-round at present, we are so lucky. The fact that our fan base even just hopes that we can keep him for as long as we possibly can, because he is a genius.
We've got a fellow that's come in here. He turned down Newcastle. He's decided to come to Aston Villa because he could see the potential. He could see what he could do with it. They've given him everything he possibly needs to take the club further forward. He's done an absolutely magnificent job. The fans look and think, every time anyone's leaving, they say, oh, well, Unai, they might go for Unai. And people say Man United last year, Man United will come for Unai. Like, he's in a great position here. He's got a club that back him. The fans love him. The players really work with him well. The whole thing's going in the right direction. He's going forward. As a manager, why would you want to go anywhere else?
And his whole backroom staff as well. I mean, the club at the same time, the owners have exactly at the same time have also allowed Unai to be able to have his full own setup, Alan. He's got all of his own backroom staff. He is completely comfortable. And so naturally, that means that he's going to flourish.
Yeah, and I think he's got his backroom team exactly who he needs to strengthen the club, to go out and pinpoint players. You know, if you think the last couple of seasons about the loan players have come in, it's been a really exciting time for be a Villa fan, with the manager with that kind of insight. But there's one thing and one thing only that I think about all the time. I was lucky as a football player. I played with football teams that used to have to win every single Saturday. Now that's an attitude thing. And he has changed the attitude at this football club from being a let's hope to let's do. And honestly, and it's a massive thing to change. And I'm not talking about the players, and I'm talking about the staff. We're working with the players to make them better to win on a Saturday. Winning thinking, winning thinking, winning thinking. And that goes to the fans now. We're disappointed because we got beaten Haaland on Thursday night because we expect to win. That's an attitude thing. And if you play at a big football club, you have to have that winning attitude. When I played with him, there is no way here that we thought we were going to lose any games. You have to have the mentality. You can't win every game, but you can install a thinking and a thought process in a football player, in a football club. And we are coming here, our fans are coming here with the same attitude that the manager over 3 years has instilled in the whole football club and turned the thought process around. We don't hope to win. We expect to win because this is the preparation we do. That's the biggest thing that Unai Emery has done for Aston Villa.
Talk us about that, Gary, about that mentality and how key that is and how your leader sets that tone.
People look at the manager and they learn from the manager, and you mirror what the manager wants to do. If he wants to win, you mirror that. So the manager comes in with the idea, we're going to win games, we want to win games, we make this place a fortress, and then the fans buy into it as well. The important thing, you get the players behind you, the players buy into what he wants to do, and then you can see the whole thing going forward in the right direction. You can tell when players believe in what he's trying to do, and the players look at what the manager wants to do, and they take it forward, they carry the thing forward. They have to go out on the pitch and do what the manager wants, implement it, and they've done it superbly well so far.
And Elmo, you mentioned the owners as well, because you're quite close to the ownership of the club here. They have played such an important part, running alongside Unai Emery to try and give him everything we can. And we were in a situation in the last summer and this summer where spending money was a problem. We have to sell, we have to bring. And to be fair to the owners, they have done almost everything they possibly can to try and make sure Unai Emery has a platform to build a football club and have a team that we can be proud of. That'd be fair enough, wouldn't it?
Of course, yeah. It's one reason, is always, when the manager is going to be successful is having a good relationship with the owners. And this is what happened, since he's been here. They've been great to him, everything he asked for, they give it to him because they believe in his project. He has he's a demanding manager. You know, he demands every day from his players. You know, so what he's done, he's achieved in the last 3 years. That gives the owners as well the platform to support him more, to give him more. So yeah, we are delighted to have a manager, experienced manager like him. You know, he's one of the best in the Premier League. You see the trophies he won in Europe with different clubs. That gives you the idea and the demanding going forward as well. You know, how to win trophies. He knows how to win trophies. You know, so this is the only one missing. I spoke about it, and he knows that, and he's demanded that from the players every single day in the training ground. And the next step is to win trophy. Next step to win trophy, and this is the one thing you look forward to.
Yeah, we've got players in this football club that other teams want.
Yes.
We've got a manager that other clubs want.
Yeah.
That's how good he's done.
Pundits that other clubs want as well.
Well, exactly, yeah. But I refuse to go. But in all seriousness, the attitude of the club that has now come into game days is just different than it was before Unai came in. In 3 years, with a bit of luck, before we know it'll be 5, and we'll have a trophy in the room, we'll have another, we'll qualify for Europe, and we'll keep this gravy train, not the gravy train, that's the wrong way to go, we'll keep this train going in the right direction, hopefully picking up speed. And I go back to again, I've come today to watch us play, but I've not come to see us get beat.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough game, and the lads will tell you sometimes you play in a game and things don't click, but at home I'm hoping we make it as difficult for them as possible, because people are thinking they're coming here to turn us over.
2 world-class managers that we've got going head-to-head. We've got Unai Emery structure versus Pep Guardiola's fluidity in this one, but of course this has been a fixture that has gone to Villa in the last 2 seasons, as I said previously, both of which in December. Now the penultimate one, now as you said earlier, Elmo, Villa were all over City then. Leon Bailey with a worldie of a goal, just a 1-0 scoreline, but it could have been more.
Of course, yeah. If you remember that game, you know, absolutely was fantastic. Every single player at that game, you know, coming out of this game is just, you know, he knows, played very well, and this is the reward. You know, Bailey was here at the time, but absolutely, Pep Guardiola spoke after the game. He said, "This is one of the toughest games I have ever faced in my career." You know, because what we done is, you know, we pressed very well. We got the ball in a very dangerous place, and like you said, you know, it could have been 3 or 4 in that game. If you can see, you know, in the last 10 minutes, we go one on one, you know, against the defenders. But to be fair, you know, it was one of the games that you delighted to get a win with the performance as well. And in my opinion, this is the best game we played, we performed under Unai Emery.
Oh, there you go. That was quite a note, wasn't it? And I know that perhaps fortunate is the wrong word to use, but the fact that City have come here the last 2 seasons not in fantastic form, and Alan, last year notably so, they started last season disastrously, and we were so ready to go, but the boys really rose to the occasion, and some brilliantly worked goals, Morgan Rogers in particular. Yeah,
we played really well that day. Again, like Elmo says, we started the game well, and we were all over them like an old suit. We genuinely were, and we gave them such a hard time. And it wasn't a surprise when we got this. It was really early on. It was early on when
2 minutes on.
When John got the goal, etc. And that kind of set the tone for the whole day. Really unselfish play, brilliant for Morgan, and John tucked it away real lovely. But I mean, to be fair, we could have been another couple of goals up after about 10 or 15 minutes. But we played so well that day, and you can see this is what I'm talking about. They have some really good players, but look at our attitude in this game about us stamping our authority. We have players that can really cause them problems, and this eventually ends up at Morgan. Morgan tucks a left footer right into the corner, and at 2-0, to be honest, we could have been 3 or 4. I know that was it Foden? I think they scored late on in the game.
Foden scored in the last minute.
I can't actually remember, but I think I remember.
You look at that goal, Alan. You see Morgan there. This is when he's at his best, you know, running with the defender. Correct, he started and he finished it, you know, and he's been sensational in that game as well. Yeah. So everything was perfect for us at that game. So yeah, like you said, you know, last 2 games here at Villa Park, we were absolutely outstanding, so hopefully today as well.
A blonde Morgan Rogers as well, but it was great to see Gary facing his old club. Of course, after City, he then kind of went on the club merry-go-round. So do you always have that extra incentive when it's a club you were formerly associated?
Yeah, there's always a feeling when you play against a club that you played for, and everybody knows what you can do. You want to show they were wrong to let you go or whatever. Morgan Rogers, he went away. He ended up at Middlesbrough, and we've signed him for Middlesbrough for not a lot of money. 18. And I think, his first game, he came off the bench, and he sort of
12 million.
He beat 3 or 4 players. 8, 12, 15 million. He beat 3 or 4 players, nearly scored on his debut. And we looked and thought, oh, he's not too bad. Yeah, maybe in the next few months he might flourish in that. You look at him, he got better game after game after game. Had a summer, had played the full season again. He has been absolutely magnificent.
And he's been regular now with England as well.
Exactly. That was a little gem he picked out. The manager picked out. He saw him and he said, oh, I like him. I like what he's got. That kid has developed, blossomed. And as Omar was just saying, picks the ball up, scores that goal. He bounces off people, carries the ball really well, plays it, keeps going as well.
And yet he gets a little bit of stick because he sets a standard there like, come on, big man. Because we want him to do the same things all the time, and at times he's maybe taking a knock, or somebody maybe gets a toe in when you think he can get away. This is a stage for him to make sure he reminds everybody how good he is. He's sitting in there, bursting, ready to go. Trust me, bursting.
Clubs look at him now, and they all set about him. You watch how many players actually whack him now when he gets the ball. They all want to kick him and all that, and stand on his Achilles and that. He will get that all the time, but he's getting better and better. He's getting brighter and brighter, knowing when to receive the ball, pass it, when to carry the ball as well. He looks like a kid. He's coming back to the form he showed last season, and long may he continue.
Yeah. We just need to be a goal threat. When we've got the ball and we're moving the ball forward, regardless if Morgan's running with the ball and John McGinn's closing somebody down, or John plays a little pass into Buendia, he's the one I want on the ball today, playing somebody in and through. He'll be important for us. But when we have the ball in that final third, I want us to be a goal threat. Shots on target, balls into the box, etc. for Ollie Watkins. That's going to be important today.
Talk about goal threat. We better talk about Man City again in this one. Of course,
do they have one?
I don't know. An unknown, a new upcomer called Haaland, I believe. I don't know if anyone's heard of him just yet. Yeah, he might make it. Who knows? But this is what we're seeing, though, Elmo. It's a new look Man City. Lots of change over the summer. Out with a lot of the old guard who served them so well. Edison, Kevin De Bruyne, and the like. They brought in a lot of new players, and some of them, of course, are going to be on the bench today. But they still look just as exciting, as much of a threat as ever.
Yeah, they had a tough season last season. It's not usual for Pep Guardiola to have season like that, so he needs a lot of changes. So like you said, an old face has left the club. Served the club for so long, and they've been absolutely outstanding. You mentioned Ederson, Kevin De Bruyne, who is one of the best midfielder in the Premier League history. So you need to replace those players in the same standard. So he brought a lot of players in the summer, and they adapted very well. And Haaland, he's been magnificent. I spoke about Haaland. He's one of those. He's one of the best strikers played in the Premier League. You see his record, his stats. The goals he scores. He's been on fire this season, especially with Man City and his country as well. So it's going to be a big threat today for us. But you know what Haaland's like. He likes the service. You stop the service to Haaland, you stop him. You stop the likes of Foden, the likes of Sevenio, especially with the crosses from the sides. Foden as well, who find his form in the last few games. So you need to stop the service to Haaland. You're going to stop him. This is what happened the last 2 games he played here. We just stopped the service for him at all. So we need to find this today, especially in the midfield. Like Alan said, Big Onana is a big thing for us today, especially in the middle, because you know what, like Pep Guardiola likes, he likes a lot of players that compact in the middle. You go through that midfield. So Kamara, John McGinn, and Big Onana, they have a big task today. So they have to be at their best today. So to stop them going through in the middle.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that, as you say, Pep keeps it nice and tight, and he wants to play loads of little passes and little triangles and that. But also, with Donnarumma coming in the side as well, they've started going a bit longer.
But more direct. They don't have the Edison playing it out from the back skills.
As they say, the hipsters say, is it more vertical or whatever? But the ball goes forward to the big man as quick as possible. Back in the day, Haaland would make his run, but they keep passing it, and people say, well, he only touched the ball 10 times or whatever, but he scored 2 goals. Now they're hitting him earlier, he's getting more opportunities to score, his movement is even better, he looks on fire at the minute. But if we can stop that, as you say, stop the service.
I think that's something that the manager have probably spoken about. Well, listen, if we're going to mention it, the manager's not stopped talking about this, is if we try and stop that service to Haaland specifically, then Savinho and Foden are our dangerous opposition today, because they're the ones that might be getting in those little, like inside left, inside right channel, exactly where Foden likes to be. So there's a couple of dangers, not just the big man, obviously, and he has been really good. He's just had his shooting boots on, everything's clicking for him, and naturally we have to make sure his amount of chances, or opportunities rather, within the box are as little as we can do, and Ezra and Pau are going to have to be double wide. The antennae have to go out. You're going to have to smell danger, 25 yards before it gets to the edge of the box, because that's where the problems can come for us. But hopefully, listen, it's going to be a great game today. We're at home at Villa Park. City are coming. We've got a good record against them in the last couple of years. Pep will be as guarded today as he has been all season.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see, isn't it? And if we can manage to replicate what we saw this day last week against Spurs, where Aston Villa came away with the points in some style.
Welcome everybody to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs take on Aston Villa in the first game of the day. Tottenham in 5th, but they could go above Bournemouth, Liverpool and Manchester City, whilst you'll find Aston Villa just below mid-table, but a win would lift them into the top half today. Kudus with a lovely whip ball, and it's in! Only 4.5 minutes played. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Aston Villa 0. Rodgers getting the shot away and scoring out of absolutely nothing. And you knew as soon as you hit it, it was goal bound. Morgan Rodgers, Tottenham Hotspur 1, Aston Villa 1. Oh, that's a great ball if it reads Luca Dean from Cash. What a take that is from Luca Dean. Buendia for Aston Villa. Buendia, oh, it's brilliant. Emiliano Buendia for Aston Villa. That is a fantastic goal in its inception from start to finish. Spurs 1, Villa 2.
Yeah, it was quite something, wasn't it? Taking away the points in some style at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last week. Now, lads, there is only one place we can start, Gary. It is with that goal. It has got some amount of hits, some amount of headlines on social media, rightly so, because they turned into the Haaland Globetrotters.
But you're talking about what people are saying could be goal of the month or goal of the season. The whole build-up was superb. From Matty Cash smashing the ball on a diagonal.
He meant it. He definitely meant it.
And Luca Dean bringing the ball down, and reminiscent of Zidane, I heard earlier. And I think that's spot on as well. By the time Luca Dean brings the ball down, and then it rolls it to Buendia. Buendia just opens his body up and just bends the ball into the corner. It's a beautiful strike, a beautiful goal, and it's something that happened. 1, 2, 3 passes, bang. Superb.
It just deserved a goal at the end of it, Alan. When you see build-up play like that, you just pray that it hits the back of the net.
And remember, when the header comes to Cash, he's actually under a bit of pressure because they're coming to shut him down. So it's either going to be mishit and too high, or it's going to be drilled like a rocket right in exactly where where he wanted to go. And of course, I think Elmo was right. It was a bit Zidane-like, there's a bit of French in there. Look, but and incidentally, I said to him, I said, "How was your hamstring after you brought it down?" Yeah. And the other thing, of course, is like the big man said, we finish on a goal. It's a really good touch. They don't shut him down properly. The wee man curls it into the corner. It was a result.
It was, wasn't it, Elmo?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, listen, we were at the game, and then we were talking about when the ball came to Matty Cash, just go back to the keeper, and then he went and boom. And to be fair, everything about the goal was fantastic, from Kashi to Dini, and then the finish from Buendia as well. But listen, this is one of the 7 goals we scored from outside the box this season. The shooting is absolutely fantastic, and then we need it again today. Started with Matty Cash, away at Sunderland. Joe McGinn here against Fulham. Buendia and Rotterdam, Buendia again, shooting from outside is a big thing. And we got a lot of players, they are very good shooting, the likes of John McGinn, Buendia, Morgan against Tottenham as well from outside the box. So we need that again today, because we got the players that got the ability to hit the ball from distance.
And it was great to see Morgan Rodgers back on the score sheet as well, because he got the assist in the season earlier on, which he got loads of congratulations for. But in terms of confidence, what will that have done for him?
Done wonders for his confidence. I mean, when he got the assist, and a load of players went to him and just picked him up and said, well done. But the good thing about it, even when it wasn't going really well for him, he was still demanding the ball, he was still showing for the ball. He didn't hide. A lot of players would try, don't try and find me with the ball. Morgan Rodgers said, give me the ball. He made mistakes, or his pass was too hard, over too much weight on it. But he kept going, he kept getting himself in the situation. He got that goal, a wonderful goal, and as you say, do his confidence the world of good.
And we talk about sort of resolution as such, Alan, as well, and all of the eyes, basically, of the footballing world feel like they're on Morgan Rodgers at present, and how well he's doing for England, that we said about earlier on. So, of course, we want to see him translating his work rate into goals, so great to see him getting one.
Do you know, sometimes a player, when you take a little bit of criticism about why didn't he shoot, why was he trying to play something in, and something will click every now and again, and he'll be in the same position today, I'll guarantee you, with the opportunity to shoot, and with a bit of luck he has 2 options now. He might be clever enough to play somebody in, or play or have a shot on target. And I always say to you, and it's something me and the big man spoke about, as a striker or a midfield player that gets goals, 2 shots in the first half, 2 shots in the second half. One of them's going to go in with a bit of luck. And that was it. And I'd like to actually know, if you look back at the game, you can see how many shots he has on target. If he doesn't shoot, he doesn't score. Dead simple. I mean, it sounds simple, but it's not. But he's in a position where he makes sure, with a few players round about him, by the way, have a dig. Absolutely, because he's got that in his locker, and that's how good he is, Morgan Rogers, and let's hope he gets the opportunity today as well.
You were close to saying XG there. You were close to.
No chance.
We're talking about shooting, you know, they got a good goalkeeper, you know, he's the best in the world, you know, Donnarumma, but if you remember last season he was at PSG, you know, and then John McGinn bowled a wall against him, you know, from outside the box as well, so just try to shoot from outside the box.
Yeah, exactly. Like I say, we managed to put, 3 past him here last year against PSG.
But
so
he had a great game, you know, he just,
he still had a great game.
Great saves from Tillemans, you know, which has kept them in the competition.
We talk about attacking presence. The breath of fresh air this year has been Emi Buendia, Gary. And of course, we say about that blip in midweek, but that's exactly, and all it was just a blip. However, apart from that, though, he has been in such good goal-scoring form.
Great pre-season he had. He looked really, really strong. He'd come back from a bad injury, went out on loan, came back, and all of a sudden he's coming off the bench and he's looking sharp, he's looking hungry. He gets his goals. I think he's top scorer at the minute, so he's got a few goals at the minute. So you look at it, the penalty miss, you're looking, the only thing you can complain about, he wanted to take it. He's gone to take it. Maybe he could have kept it low, but he's gone for the top of the goal. It hasn't gone in. But at the end of the day, like, he wanted to take it. He was saying, yeah, I'll take it. I'll be the man. I'll take the penalty.
Having scored the goals he scored for us at the time, I was thinking when it was up to 10, I thought, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay
really
with Buendia taking a pen. I mean, I don't know how many.
Yeah, he scored against Brentford, you know, when we were in the cup. You know, he one of the best penalties we scored. So sometimes, listen, it's football. Sometimes it's happened. You know,
if you're confident, want to take the penalty, then most players shy away from it.
Of course,
he's the confident one. Let him take it.
And we saw a man of the match performance, of course, against Fulham when he came on at half-time and managed to score there. Feyenoord that we're looking at now with the goal there, it was some rocket, Alan.
It was listen, and this is what again I talk about. You're getting into those little pockets at the edge of the box. If the ball goes into wide areas, he just hangs a little bit, has a touch, because he's not taking 1, 2, 3, 5 touches. It's one touch, shoot, one touch, move it across yourself and get a shot on target. So I still go back to the very first thing I said today. He could be our game winner today. There's lots of things that are going to happen in the game today with all the players, but he could be something extra for us today if he's got his shooting boots on or he's got his radar in the right place, because he's the one that's got the ability to play a little one into somebody and get them free behind their defence. So let's hope that's exactly what he's got today. But penalties, who takes the pens today? Watkins, I'm presuming back on. I don't know. I don't know.
You.
Morgan Rogers.
I think Morgan is the top of the list.
I think Morgan is probably going to be top of the list. But listen, I was going to say, let's hope we don't get one. Let's hope we get 2.
I was going to say unlimited amounts.
If the case may be it, but it's the only one thing I suppose that the manager is in there giving it right. Who wants the pens and who's going to put their hands up today to
Which
take
is
one.
Something in itself, though. And also, I know that we're currently jesting a little bit, but at the same time, it is something to put your hand up and say, actually, I'm going to take the pen. And Emi Buendia, given the confidence that he's been in, it made sense that he should be the one.
Absolutely, and I think Emi's right about it's just something that happened. I mean, so the way we played in the second half against Spurs, that's why the game on Thursday night in the second half we were like, I don't understand what's going on here. Nothing we tried to do was particularly right, even although they weren't particularly good. Then we get a penalty and we don't score, and you're like, maybe it's just one of those games. Let's get home and get ready for City on Sunday, because there's not even any point talking about it, and let's just put it under the carpet. That's what happened one day in Europe, and let's start again.
Yeah, it was like, playing in League 2 or League 1 in the Cup.
Yeah.
And like Wednesday, Tuesday night, I was at the game. It was so bad condition, It was raining, it was windy, it was just like, we could have finished the game in the first 30 minutes, We got some chances, Yeah, of course,
Exactly, like I say, when weather conditions are, not that we're making any excuses or anything.
No,
like
it's not an excuse, but you finish those games in the first 30 minutes, first half an hour, just, and then in the second half, the atmosphere there was absolutely fantastic, for them.
Amazing.
And then you can see after the game, they celebrating like they winning the competition. So it was a big day for them, but what you have to learn is just learn from it and move on. But it was some positive in the game, like you said. Gusan scored his first goal. Sancho was outstanding in the first half, gets his confidence. So you get some positive from the game and just move on.
I'm really a big fan of the music. The lads have come out of the tunnel too for their warm-ups. This is a new look, isn't it? I'm massively appreciating this. So if you can see in the background, you can hear cheers, is because the Villa lads have come out for their warm-up. Man City are already out behind us. And I mean, you were taking in the size of Donnarumma. Is that the first time you've kind of seen him in the flesh this close?
First time I've seen him close up. He's absolutely massive. And as you say, I can understand how he makes a save, because there's too much. You can't get round him. He's huge.
He really is, and he's been some by for them as well. But Alan, I just want to throw it back, because the question I wanted to ask you earlier on is about Haaland.
Yeah.
And from a striker's point of view, in the last few seasons, we've seen him wrestling with the centre-halves, and he's almost been distracted by that and not been as effective.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you see him sitting sort of 5-8 yards off of the centre-halves, looking sleepy, and then killing them with pace, because, as Gary said, they have a tendency now to go that bit longer. Does that make him more effective? Do you think he's more focused?
I think he's learned a little bit. That I think he came to fight in the initial. I think he thought, this is what I have to do. When in actual fact, what you really want to do is try and get away from the defender as much as you can, unless, of course, you're tackling and trying to get the ball that's completely in your area. But I think he knows now that if he steps away and gives the opportunity of a yard for the ball to be played in front of him, when he gets galloping, you're not catching him. I mean, it's as simple as that. He's so strong and can get away that he doesn't need to be fighting so much, Tomo.
The fact that when you're 6'5" and you're blonde and you're good looking and that, people want to wrestle with you. So all of a sudden, as you say, as a centre forward, I could go up against Almo and be battling all day, and he'll win some challenge, I'll win some challenge. But the moment I come off 3 or 4 yards, he's got a decision to make. Does he come in, or does he drop off a little bit? And with Haaland's pace and his ability, people get in the pockets.
Come here. I thought you were going to say, but you've been good looking in that.
Oh no, it's getting round.
Exactly, but that should be the key question.
I remember one day we played City.
Yeah.
It was a live game on a Sunday, and it was the old main road, and we won 2-0, and the big man scored, and we battered them.
I didn't want to talk about it, but yeah, what a game, what a goal as well.
Oh, please do, yeah.
Although I don't remember you being good looking, and I don't remember you running away from anybody.
Being the Viking up top.
2 inch at the back post, giving it thanks very much, everybody.
Well, I'm definitely not 6'5" and blonde.
But I suppose
I got a goal.
To answer the question is, I think he's developed his game as well, because he's got most things that big strikers want to have, is a good touch, an awareness of where he has to be in the box, and for likes of Elmo who played in those wider areas, they must be like, where is he? Because if you get him to the ball, he takes a touch and he kicks it into the net, makes it look easy. It's not easy. He just makes it look easy. But in terms of fighting with defenders, I think he's learning a little bit like, I'll do a bit of that, but the majority is I'm going to be looking for those balls for the lads in a Man City, huge, good Man City team that's going to play it into an area where I'm galloping on.
What do you do with him as a defender? What do you do?
Just stop the service to him. This is the good thing about it. We did it last couple of seasons, here. We just stopped the service, but, he's just relying on the crosses, because he is very good at that, especially in the air. But, when they play, this is when he struggles. When they play through the middle, this little passes, this is when he struggles. But when you give him a space, when you cross to him, this is when he's at his best, You see the goals he scored this season, it's all crosses, it's all just coming, from, spaces and that. And he's very, very good. He's strong, powerful, so we have to stop the service to him today.
And on defenders, I want to talk about Man City's defence very quickly with you, because it's a little bit of a makeshift defence in terms of their left and right back. Mateus Nunes, he was previously a midfielder, and then, Pep Guardiola, he actually was quite openly saying he doesn't think he's bright enough to be a midfielder, so he's put him at right back.
Yeah, you can see that from the last season. They both struggle, especially in the wide areas, getting players, and this is Pep's style, get players from the midfield, blame them as a fullback because the way they play. But defensively, because they have a lot of change, a lot of injury, so they don't have that back four play 10 games in a row. This is the problem for them, so they change every game. And as a defender, you need that relationship with the man next to you. This is when they find it difficult, Alan.
Well, you're actually spot on, buddy, and it's been a problem for him. Left back and full back has been a problem for Pep Guardiola for 2 seasons, by the way, and he's still got it. And I think Elmo's right. This is where we can maybe exploit those particular positions in those areas, especially for for players running in the inside channels, etc., where the defenders don't know whether they find themselves in the wrong position. It's the only headache probably that Pep's got, because the rest of it looks pretty good for him. But nevertheless,
if they condense the pitch, which they like to do, you've got to make the pitch bigger. So we don't need our full-backs, our wide wing backs to get out and actually draw them out, so you can open the space up for Morgan Rogers to get the ball. And once he gets the ball of Buendia in them pockets, then we'll cause them a problem.
Because we've spoken about that, about the midfield overload with those midfield rotations of Man City. So wider players, we've seen that a lot from Villa, and the crosses have become a pivotal part of Villa's game this season.
The other thing, if you think about our fullbacks, when even if I put in Maatsen as well, to be honest, I thought it does well for us getting forward. I don't know whether they'll be galloping that far forward, the fullbacks, because I think they'll be like more defensively minded, thinking, I don't want to get caught, because if Villa take us on the quick away break, I don't want to be the one that the manager's going to have a go at. So it'll be interesting to see now the first 20-25 minutes how much their fullbacks decide to come and play, rather than just let their midfield deal with bringing the ball into the final third against us today.
It's a big game for Ole as well, you know. You know what he's like? He's just like, you know, running behind, and this is very important, you know. Their defenders are a bit slow. Just, you know, keep running behind them. Just keep feeding that Ole ball behind them, and then just stretch them. And Buendia and Morgan Rogers, they find that bucket. It's going to be very useful for us.
Yeah.
Right, that's a perfect bit of analysis there, proper getting into the tactics of it, and no doubt we'll be doing plenty more of that in just a few. But of course, this weekend is the Premier League's initiative of No Room for Racism campaign. Aston Villa, of course, super proud to support it.
On every pitch, in every team, we stand together.
But racism, even a small comment, can break the game.
The best teams lift each other up. Whether you're a striker, keeper or coach, respect is the goal.
On and off the pitch, we show respect.
But there's one thing we all have in common.
Because like poet Benjamin Zephaniah said,
we are all brothers and sisters, we're just in different shades.
There's no room for racism ever.
There is no room for racism ever.
Now, of course, we talk about Unai Emery versus Pep Guardiola. This is something that Unai Emery touched upon in his pre-match press conference, how much respect he has for his opposite number. Also, how to stop Erling Haaland.
Firstly, collectively, we should try to be very, very focused to stop him. We will prepare the game individually as well, to try to get duels and stopping him. But getting duels individually maybe could be not enough to stop him, and we will need some cover with another players. And then tactically we can stop him in different ways, or goalkeeper saving the last one, when he can beat our structure tactically, or the duels we can have, or even the cover we can use tomorrow.
The last time that you played them at home, Manchester City were in a really difficult moment. Pep Guardiola has rebuilt, changed the squad a lot since then. Is he still the manager tactically, particularly in game, who you find is the biggest challenge to try and beat?
Yes, always. It's very, very difficult to face him. Firstly, because he's managing the better team in the world, with the better players in the world. And secondly, because he's really, for me, the best coach in the world. He's very competitive. Tactically, with the ball, how he is building every year his team is fantastic. It's amazing, really a genius. And then he's humble. As a person as well, I appreciate him a lot, because he's humble. With everything he's achieving, he's keeping humble and respectful always. With me, very, very respectful. And this is the most important. Firstly, as a person, how he is as a person. As a person, he's a fantastic guy. And as a professional and coach, he's the best.
yeah, a lot of mutual respect there, understandably so, between two world-class managers. And that really is the name of the game, isn't it? We've spoken however many times already this season about world-class managers and how much respect Unai has for them. We were saying about Thomas Frank previously, of course we were saying about Areola previously then as well, and then of course you've got Pep Guardiola, who, if you had to ask a broad spectrum of the public who the best manager in the world is, would they say Pep?
Of course.
We wouldn't, obviously.
I think for me, he's been the best, manager for many, many years since he was at Barcelona. The way he just changed football, I know he started with Johan Cruyff at Barcelona, and he took it from him, and then now coming to the best league in the world, and he's doing it here. The amount of the trophies he won with this football club, it's been absolutely fantastic for him. And yeah, like you said, he's the best he's the best for me. He's the best manager in the world, and the likes of Unai as well. He's from Spain, and he faced him so many times in Spain and in France and here in the Premier League as well. And he knows how good he is as a manager, how good he's like demanding manager as well, like Unai. So for me, yes, Pep Guardiola is the best manager in the world.
Incredibly demanding, isn't he? And Unai, the word he kept using about him was humble, which was an interesting word to hear, because of course from our point of view, when we hear the interviews with Pep, that he is just so driven. And he can't hide that whatsoever, can he?
They reckon on average he thinks about football every 45 minutes or talks about it every 45 minutes. So you imagine, spend time with your family and you're having a dinner or something, and all of a sudden 45 minutes later, by the way, I'll move that player there, we can do this and that. He loves his football. He's so into it. I mean, he has changed football, to be fair. Yes. And Johan Cruyff wanted to play this one way, and Pep has took it on another level. And in fact, to the point where I look at League Two teams play, and now they play it out, the keeper rolls it out and they pass it around the back and that, and you're looking at it.
He's got blame for that.
And you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, you're not good enough to do that. But they all want to do it because Pep's done it. He has changed the game. He took it to another level.
But he's still open to changing it all the time. He is always adapting. Yeah. He is so versatile, where we said that previously about the fact that playing out from the back, when we saw that with Edison, but now that they're going longer and the way that football's going that way.
I'm not going to give away any tactic, something that I shouldn't say here, but I can remember speaking to someone at Man City and they were playing in a big game at the weekend, and he was the very first one to take one of the fullbacks and take him into the middle of the park to give them an extra guy. And if you remember, John Stone did it brilliantly well for a couple of seasons, and that's what Pep did. That he came up with that one. That never came from anybody else. That was Pep Guardiola trying to give.
It was him doing it at Barcelona with Dani Alves when he started there. He started there, and then
he started that. So in terms of being a guru of football, he certainly is. By the way, he still throws his toys at the pram when they get beat 3-0. Don't worry about that.
All the top ones do that. And also, I was just talking about the fullbacks as well. He's the same one that had a back four of centre halves, 4 big centre halves playing across the back four who can head and kick the ball as well. Yeah. So like he changes all the time.
And maybe don't be surprised. You talked about the fullback being a midfield player. Yeah. That's kind of a theory that he's got anyway, that he'll come and he'll play. Listen, it'll be a great game today, exactly, but he's still got his faults. But listen, there's no way Unai Emery doesn't think that Pep Guardiola has changed football. There's no question about it.
It's going to be a brilliant match-up once again today between these two managers. Now, we've recorded another podcast for you. Now, this week's podcast, make sure to head to the social media channels to get it. This week, it's Gabby Agbonlahor.
What's hilarious about that game is that I was having a stinker. They're the games that like the ball falls to you.
Oh, and in by Agbonlahor! Agbonlahor! It's a chance for the hat-trick here. Oh, it's brilliant! What about that?
Dion Dublin headbutted Robbie Savage. And I thought to myself, like, we can't lose to these. Like, it's not an option. You're the fans' voice on the pitch. Yeah. So if they want to kick someone, they can't do it. So can you do it for them? We were having banter for like a year before. Oh, I'm going to get it in 150 games next year. And I'll be like, I played half my career as a left winger. I'll say I'm the highest Premier League goal scorer, born in Birmingham.
Yeah, make sure to head to the social media channels to catch the latest podcast featuring Gabby Agbonlahor, who was great. By the way, nice touch with 1 foot, managing to pass it back then to Donnarumma.
I curled it into the net, actually, but nevertheless, what we Gabby was brilliant. And some of the goals we saw there, obviously, it was great to reminisce with him. He's gone on a different tangent now. He's a media guy with his own ideas and stuff, but it was good to listen to about, he's a Brummie boy. He was brought up really strictly, and he got to to sign for his dream of playing for Aston Villa. So there's lots in there that you're going to enjoy. He was very good.
He's so entertaining, wasn't he? Yeah, that was really, really good fun.
He was.
Right, lads, we only have 2 minutes left, so it's time for predictions, key battles. Elmo, you're always on the end, so you always get the luckless task of going first.
I'm going to 1 Villa today.
Are you going to give us goal scorers?
Morgan and Joe McGinn.
Oh, nicely done, nicely done.
I was going to go 2-1 as well.
You can go 2-1.
I'll go 2-0.
Clean sheets as well. Goal scorers?
Emi Buendia is going to get one and Ollie.
Me and Ollie. There you go.
I'm going to go 2-1, and I'm going to go for Buendia. I think he's going to win it for us. I think he's going to be that important, and with a bit of luck, we start the game really strongly and keep them as quiet as we can. I'm only saying 2-1 because you know the big man's going to score. Let's hope he only gets one and not any more than that, and we'll get two. Should be a fantastic day. Really looking forward to it. Villa Park will be bouncing today.
As they're walking in, and you can just see the size of Haaland. Goodness me, we said about Donnarumma being big, but yeah, I've just seen Haaland there walking in. He's quite the presence, isn't he? Quite scary. But lads, thank you so much for your time and predictions. I'll let you go in just a moment before the rain comes down, but we have so much more to bring you on Villa TV this week, so this is what we've got coming up. So audio commentary for this game is just around the corner on the back of the advert break coming up next. Now we have a brand new show to bring you on Thursday. I will be hosting it. It is called The Holt Seat with Miri Taylor. So this Thursday, live from 6 p.m. And again, make sure to head to the social media channels to find out how you can watch that. And Aston Villa under-21s versus Crystal Palace under-21s. Friday the 31st of October, kickoff from 7 p.m. And also on Sunday, be sure to head down to Villa Park because Natalia Arroyo's side take on Everton in the WSL. Head to villa.co.uk for ticket details and head to Villa TV for live audio commentary of today's game. It is Mark Regan alongside Tony Daly.
Good afternoon, welcome to Villa Park, welcome to Villa TV as well. Aston